Hare Krishna, dear beautiful souls and young minds. This is the last session on clinical mindful meditation. So, in the last few sessions, we saw different types of meditation, what is clinical mindful meditation, and stuff like that. In today's session, let's figure out what are the various therapies that people adopt to just focus their minds and remain integrated in their emotional approach. So one is hypnotherapy, which many of you would know. One is past life regression. So both hypnotherapy and past life regression partially use clinical mindful meditation in all these practices. These are all psychological therapies that people adopt for sorting out various physical issues that they may be confronted with. So there are certainly benefits of clinical mindful meditation, which is generally followed in these steps. Like you have to find a quiet place, then the practitioner will ask you, the expert will ask you to focus on your breath, observe your thoughts, just observe, don't evaluate, just observe. So what you have to do, the first thing is find a quiet place, sit erect, collect all your thoughts and focus on your breath. Third thing is that observe the thoughts, don't judge. Just witness the thoughts, good or bad, just don't judge. Practice regularly. It is then that the mind gets trained. But always remember that you should definitely understand what is the purpose of your meditation and who should be the object of your meditation. Unless you have these two things, your mind will talk a lot. You will be lost in the train of your thoughts, in the web of your thoughts. So you would not know exactly how to focus, right? Especially given the distractions in today's era, like the mobile, social media, so on and so stuff like that. Plus the stress that you would face in your college or because of the projects or other things, okay? Personal issues, all of these things. So it basically focuses on 4 P's. What are the 4 P's? Presence, pacing. What is that? Presence, pacing, prioritizing and pivoting. Presence, pacing, prioritizing and pivoting. What is it that you have to be present, right? You have to follow a certain speed. And then you have to prioritize that what is it exactly I want to focus on, and then pivoting. So benefits of clinical mindful meditation are that it reduces stress. You will find improved mental health or condition. There will be enhanced self-awareness as to what is going on inside me. Some amount of emotional regulation will come about in your personality, and there is immense potential that there will be some changes in the brain that will happen. All these are very practical benefits of clinical mindful meditation. There are, however, various interventions associated with clinical mindful meditation, like mindfulness based stress reduction. Mindfulness based stress reduction. This is nothing but a practical term given to stress reduction, and it encompasses all of it: improved mental health, enhanced self-awareness, and all of these. The second is mindfulness based cognitive therapy, MBCT. The first one is MBSR, that is mindfulness based stress reduction, and the second one is mindfulness based cognitive therapy. So it works as a cognitive behavior therapy as well. That is, it may change the nature of your thoughts and the paradigm of the operation of your mind. All right, so there are primarily 2 interventions. So what are the shortcomings of clinical mindful meditation? That it may actually confuse you. It is, since it's very temporary, unless you practice it day in and day out, and you just after understanding the process, you sink in the whole system into your body, into your psychophysical system. it still doesn't address the root cause of the problem if you practice CMM as per the books given on a very surface level. So the Hare Krishna perspective is that you must know the object and the purpose of your meditation. This, and I'll read out text number 2 of chapter number 2 of the Bhagavad Gita. It gives us some advice. So basically, all these problems, all these stress come about because of the contamination in the consciousness, because of contamination of our material senses. The more we interact with the material world outside, the more our consciousness gets contaminated, and that affects the behavior of mind, and that affects that shows in the performance of our activities. And this was a similar question that Arjuna asked when he was way too depressed and never wanted to fight his own relatives. So what is the question? A reverse question that the Lord puts forth to Arjuna is Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalam Edam Vishame Samupasthitam Anarya Jushtam Aswargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy. So, all of these things, fear, diffidence, not being ready to act when we are supposed to be ready, not doing what is expected of us as a human being, all of these getting contaminated, and getting overwhelmed by sorrow is also kind of contamination. आपने बहुत सारे लोगों को देखा होगा, रोते रहते किस बात का रोना है? They just don't know the root cause. They just cannot stop crying. Right? This is nothing but contamination of heart. And that is why this is called weakness of heart. This is the basis of all frustration that we face in the world. So we have to balance our mode of passion and ignorance and combat even mode of goodness and come at a Shuddha Sattva level where we serve the Lord and we don't serve these senses. Unless we serve the Lord, these things, these desires will not get satiated, and mode of passion, it's written in the Bhagavad Gita, gives birth to frustration. Mode of ignorance at the end gives rise to madness. This is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Mode of goodness doesn't make us any good. We will be peaceful only to an extent. After that, if there are some disturbing elements in the environment, we also will get disturbed. So CMM, though is a very good technique, doesn't hit the root cause, certainly. Okay, so we have to think about it, we have to read scriptures, and that is how we will come to understand the meaning of life, and it will be very easy for us, even in challenging circumstances, to fight the odds and be Sthita Pragnasya, that is maintain the equanimity of our minds. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.